Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Celtic Unrestricted View. I'm JP, and I'm flying solo this evening. That's right. My two good men, Mr. Alan Stirling and Ryan Clifford, are away in sunny Tenerife. They done a wee video that went out yesterday before yesterday's match, and they seem to be enjoying themselves with two lads. Fair play to both of them for doing a wee video and getting it out. And yeah, I hope the two of them are having a great holiday as we speak. Obviously, a very, very happy St. Paddy's Day to those of you who also celebrate Paddy's Day. I hope everybody's had a really good day. Most of you, I hope obviously we'll get to yesterday. But for everyone that's tuning in with us, I hope you all had a great weekend as well, because that's important. Weekends are for enjoying yourself, in my opinion, and doing what makes you happy. Whether that be going out and getting drunk, or spending time with your family, or doing anything else. So, yeah, hope everyone enjoyed doing what they were doing. To those that you are tuning in tonight, a very good evening to you all. We'll come to some of the earlier commenters. Paul Maguire says, "Hail, hail, troops! Happy St. Patrick's Day." And evening JP and the chat. Not such a beautiful Sunday for loads of fans yesterday. Would love to have seen some of the fans get their hands on that Tierney yesterday after his water antics at the fans. Good evening. Hope you're well. Toby, how you doing, mate? Oi, oi, boys. G-Doc as well. Evening all. We will call him. Is with us. Evening, everybody. Hail, hail. Good evening, mate. Joe Hart's bald patch. Evening, troops. Plunge, same again. Evening, Fenians. You'll never walk alone. Paradise. Hail, hail to yourself. Stevie, how you doing, mate? Good evening. Good evening, JP. Happy St. Paddy's Day to everyone. Hail, hail. Toby, hail, hail. Evening, JP. Happy St. Paddy's Day. Unlike yesterday, as was really bad day at the office. Paul Maguire, good evening. Big Rab. Evening, JP. How are you, mate? Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm actually all right. I've had a good weekend. I was disappointed in Celtic's first half performance yesterday. But yeah, apart from that, mate, I'm grand. I'm okay. So yeah. Any new commenters? Nick, how you doing, mate? Evening, JP. Absolutely no positives from yesterday. Disgusted in the performance. Even more so in Brendan being outthought by a Go Radio pundit. Last three games versus them, they've shown more desire. Not too sure if I agree with all of that, Nick. But obviously we'll come to some points in that tonight as well. We've got some people calling in as well, so we will get to that. But I hope everyone is well. James, how you doing, mate? Hope you're well too. And James, obviously you picked up on the water incident at the game yesterday. I never saw that until late last night, actually. I actually never seen that personally. Obviously, being at the game yesterday, there certainly wasn't a lot made of it during the game. So I think the incident takes place after Agamani scores the winner. By the way, that was a great strike as well. An absolutely great strike. But, that incident in isolation, it's a silly thing to do, in my opinion. I don't know what will happen now. I don't know. Obviously, I read earlier that Celtic are taking it further and they're going to have it looked into. I don't know what happens from here. I don't know what sort of what sort of punishment can be dished out, if any. I'm really not sure. But yeah, I can understand the people the people that it happened to obviously might not have been happy. In the video that I saw when it does happen, the people looked to um, to have been taken by surprise. I don't think some seen it coming. So yeah, I think, as I say, it'll just be, you know, um, it'll just be a waiting game now as to, you know, what can happen or where we go for here on that one, Ange, because like I say, I'm not too sure. I've never really, I don't think I've offhand, I can't remember seeing, you know, that happened before, or I don't remember that incident being dealt with, or a similar type of incident being dealt with before. I certainly know Alan Thompson did something similar in the 2003 UEFA Cup final, and he done the, but it was Lucas Z Sport he done it to, and he done it to Jose Mourinho, and that caused a riot just kind of in at half time. It caused a big scramash, and Tomo, Jackie McNamara and Alan Thompson, when they do speakers nights and that, they've told that story many a times, and it's Tomo does a runner into the tunnel and goes into the changing room before anything, before anything's happening. So it's one of those ones. It's I don't know what can happen. As far as I remember, I don't think Alan Thompson got into trouble for doing it to Mourinho. So as far as I know, I don't know if there is some sort of punishment for that. But we'll need to see. Yeah, James, it possibly could have, mate. Yeah, it possibly could have. But looking at the video, again, it's no excusing the behaviour, obviously, but it seemed to be more. It looked like older people over 50 that were sitting in that area. Because I seen a guy and a woman. I don't know if it was man and wife or a couple, and as I said, it looked like they were over 50, and people of that age group don't tend to spark out riots. If it had been maybe younger guys in their 20s or whatever, I don't think Cherny would have managed to run by just on his own. I think he would have been getting chased along that trackside. So I understand what you mean, though. I get that because, um, like I says, I've never really had to speak about something like this before on here or even off of here with groups of friends or family or anybody. And yeah, so like I says, I mean, maybe one of you guys could possibly help in, you know, in the comments. You can let me know what you think might happen, but like I says, I don't know if there will be some sort of a ban or any sort of punishment for the lad because, in my opinion, I mean, what he's done was, he's squirted water over people, but I don't know, is it? Would you class that as breaking the law? Or, I really don't know. Like I says, I really don't know how to put it into a category. Albeit it's not nice, but yeah, it's a strange one. Good evening, Lindsay. How you doing? I hope you're well. I hope you had a nice weekend, pal. Lots of comments coming in regarding the game itself yesterday. Good evening, Ryan. How you doing, mate? Hope you're well. Hope you're having a nice time over in Tenerife. Evening, all. Hope all is well. No excuses yesterday not to win. We've none conceded, 6 against them in 2 games. AJ had his worst game in a long time. Rocky, different class, not a bad player. Yeah, obviously the result itself, the isn't good. The performance wasn't good. Um, Certainly the first half, we were really poor, really under par. We weren't at the races at all. We never played with the right tempo. Our speed of play was very slow and laboured. Um, Rangers kind of set about us in the first half. They pressed us high up the pitch. They were physical. They got in our faces. Um, they kind of made life hard for us in the first half, and then to go in, I mean, to lose the goals we lost as well, and the manner the way we did, and no, it wasn't a great half, and then the second half was a wee bit more like us, in terms of the way we came out. We got an early goal. It changes momentum and the game, and things start moving, and then obviously we score again to make it two each. And then everybody's thinking, yes, here we go. We are we're on course here to really kick on and could go on and win the game. Albeit, I've seen fans say, we didn't deserve to win the game. I've seen a lot of fans say that we didn't. No, a draw would have been a fair result. I personally just thought we weren't at it. And yeah, so I'm not buying into all these narratives that I've seen Celtic fans' narratives that Brendan was schooled, Brendan was done, Brendan was out thought, Brendan was this or Brendan was that against Barry Ferguson. I mean, we lost a derby 3-2. For me, that's no getting done. Me personally, I don't know what others think, but for me personally, I don't think you're not getting done losing the game 3-2. Albeit we were at home and everything else, but it's a derby, first and foremost. And when we pull it back to two each, there's an opportunity that one team or the other is going to maybe get a winner. It was just unfortunate for us that we were under par, and we never managed to overcome the problems that we had earlier in the first half. I understand how football works. I understand that the first half could have been more comfortable for them as well. If you look at that, you look at some of the chances he missed. Jack Butland also had a couple of good saves in the game as well. I've managed to watch the game back now that everything's all kind of calmed down a wee bit and everything else. The second half, we were a lot better. We played a lot better. We made the changes, and that, for me, changed the way the game was going for us. We get back into the game, we get back to 2-2, and then we get done by a slip from Alistair Johnston, and there's no taking away. I mean, I don't think anybody can take away the strike. The strike in itself is, I mean, it was a great strike. I mean, it was a phenomenal strike for the winning goal. But for me, getting done is losing 6-0, losing 5-0, losing 4-0. We lost the game 3-2. I'm old enough now. I've been going to Celtic games all my life, and I remember when Celtic weren't winning anything, weren't winning, they couldn't win derbies. Played the best football for a long time, but Rangers went up apart and scored and nicked the game, and so I know I'm I'm under no illusion about how these things work, and in any football rivalry is not one team is dominant every single match that you go and you play. Um, Now I've heard fans say, "Look, the last three games we've not played well." Well, in one of those last three games against them, we won a trophy. So for me, that was good enough. That was good enough for me. Um, they've won two games. Fortunately for us, that they've won it in a way that Celtic are that far ahead in the league that ultimately it's probably not going to come to anything. Albeit it was still disappointing um, to lose those matches because in the games we never played well. So I do get it. I understand people's disappointment, but for me personally, I just like to add context to to what the bigger picture is. You know, Celtic are on course to lift a treble this season. They're no, and yeah, probably. I mean, Barry, that's a fair point, mate. That's probably the psychology and some of it. Is for me. Um, that's where players go. Players aren't the same as fans for me. Players don't. These games are do or die for Celtic fans. You know, and unfortunately, but I, I I can't speak for all the players. I don't know how it goes, but sometimes players can have an eye on something else, or your heads go. I don't know. Like I says, I don't know. But the two games ultimately in the league now we've had big, massive margins against them. So we're miles ahead of them in the league. And I just look at previously, and I don't know if this is a thing. I don't know if it's not. Maybe I'm looking too much into it. The ones that Celtic could win a trophy at the end of them, cup finals, semi-finals. Um, if it was the league trophy, it depended on it, and Celtic always overcome them in that derby. We've also beat them 3-0 this season as well. Um, so what point am I trying to make? I'm trying to make that it's understandable people's frustrations, mate, and how Celtic played yesterday. But for me, I look at the bigger picture. I look at what Celtic are looking to walk away with this season. And if Celtic walk away with a treble this season, I know I'll not be saying, no, well, Rangers beat us. No, you'll not remember it. You won't. And again, Rangers beat us in two games this season that we've had a massive margin. Albeit, I'm not sitting here saying that I'm not disappointed. I'm disappointed with the performance level. I'm disappointed being in attendance at the game yesterday and watching them lose. But I also understand it's a football rivalry and you can't win every one of them. You just can't. It doesn't happen anywhere in football. So I go back to it when Celtic win things, when Celtic win trophies, when they win trebles, I don't get too carried away. So that when we don't win and we get beat and we lose games and we lose things, it helps me not to get too upset. So just to give you an insight, Addy, as to my thoughts here, um, that's where my head is at the moment. But I understand. Listen, I understand people's frustrations. I understand people's gripes about the team not playing well. I didn't enjoy it yesterday in the first half. So yeah, I totally get it. I really, really do. And I get why people are frustrated. But you've also got to recognise, um, yeah, it's not an excuse, Ryan. No, you're totally right, mate. You're totally bang on, mate. Bang on the money. It's not an excuse. It's not an excuse to perform poorly the way they did. And I'm not looking to excuse it. So I've not once tried to excuse the performance, but I understand that these things can happen. I understand why they happen, and I understand how it So it helps me not to get annoyed too much whenever these things happen, because, like I says, I don't get too carried away, and you know that more than anybody, Ryan. I'm going to get my first caller in this evening. That is our good man, Mr. Francis Lester. Good evening, mate.
Evening, JP. How are you, son?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Over the disappointment of yesterday, I've been hearing everything you've been saying and your points and that, and I get everybody's frustrated and disappointed. I was as well, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day,
yeah, I think we all are, Francis.
Yeah, it was we were poor. There was too many players off it and no at it at all, like you said. And the only thing that really bothers me is the fact that the last two Old Firm games, we've talked that we're up for it, but we've not been up for it. And I don't know what the reason for that is. I mean, yesterday, I felt as if we just turned up thinking we just need to turn up and we'll win the game without putting the application in. Maybe it had something to do with the fact that we were 16 points clear. And I get that as well. You can get, I know you never want them to be complacent, but I think we were very complacent yesterday. We went out there and our attitude for me was all wrong. As you say, the build-up, the play for the back was slow. We weren't shutting players down. There was nobody moving. I agree with everybody who was saying Alistair Johnson. That's the worst I've seen him.
Well,
and I like that boy.
Not just that, Francis. I want to touch on Casper Schmeichel, because I thought he brought a lot of unneeded pressure onto us in the first half. These silly passes and these. It was all dilly-dally. It was all, none of it was calculated. There was one in the first half. I think it was just before their second goal, and it was the play before the second goal. That's what it was, when he had an opportunity to play the ball to Kuhn straight away. And he chose Alistair Johnson, but instead of, because he's in the right-hand side of the box,
I remember
miss him out and go over the top.
Yeah.
Because
the crowd let him know as well.
Well, that's what I was going to say. They're pressing that high that they're then leaving a gap elsewhere on the field.
Yeah. So, well, that was the other point I was making to my sons. I speak to my sons as well. Both of my sons, well, two of my sons are offshore just now. My other son lives down in England, but I was there with the grandkids, and my point was that we don't. When we turn up for these games in the last 2-3, we're talking it all up before we get there to the game, and Brendan's coming out saying, right, well, if we turn up and we're at it and we know what we have to do, blah, 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 blah. And then the players, it's as if they've not took that in, and they're thinking, we're better than them. We just, let's go out, boys, and let's just knock it up. It was just so complacent. I've never, right for the off, because they pinned us in that corner for the first 5 minutes. They pinned the ball up the park for the kickoff, and we couldn't get it. And the panicking, and another thing was, you lose what's the word I'm looking for? When McGregor no playing, you've not got that, what's the word? I can't even think it, and my head's wasted.
Leadership.
Maybe you can take that as it.
Well, McGregor, I noticed that yesterday, Francis, because, but that technical ability to stay calm and keep the team in a calm sort of thought process, because it took until the second half, in my opinion, for Hatate to turn into McGregor, because I watched Hatate going to a couple of the players when we got it back to 2 each, try to talk to them and say, right, you need to come here, you need to get in there. And he was talking to, like, I think it was when Young Yang came on. And by the way, I'm telling you now, that boy's going to be a player. See, when he came on yesterday,
he was excellent when he came on.
This is what I'm saying. We weren't able to play through their midfield. See, as soon as he came on, 2 and 3 passes from him opened up their midfield. Plus he was, like a tin of salmon.
And he was taking players on, JP. The thing that Kuhn wasn't doing. It was as if Kuhn was feared to take a player on. As soon as he had a man in front of him, he was turning back the way, playing the ball back or getting inside. That was annoying the life out of me. But another thing I noticed was Rangers are winning 2-0, and you've got Tavernier and the wee Turkish boy. What's his? I forget his name. Played at left back.
Yilmaz.
Aye, they're winning 2-0, and they're yelling and screaming at each other as you fucking having a right go at each other because they're no doing. Cameron Carter-Vickers for me was very, very poor yesterday. He didn't show any captain's leadership yesterday because I never seen him speaking to anybody or try to get the team together and say, "Come on, get your act together here."
This is the thing for me, right? So obviously, Callum McGregor wasn't fit to play yesterday, right? Cameron Carter-Vickers is given the armband. Did you see the huddle? It was Casper Schmeichel that spoke to the players.
See, that's not right.
I don't understand why he's the captain.
He's not a captain for me.
CCV.
No, definitely not a captain for me. I still believe that we need a midfield enforcer, JP, for these type of games because, see, every time we've come up against them, they've set players out just to kick us all apart. That be Raskin. I don't know how many fouls he committed and he never got away with every single one of them.
Yeah,
he was fouling all the time. And I'm like, what is it with this guy? I mean, and there was a foul in Maeda in the second half. I thought it was a red card. I thought he caught him right just below the knee. I can't remember who it was, but that referee was letting him away with murder.
Was that not the one that Proper get booked for?
No, I don't think it was
the one in the middle of the pitch.
No, it was at the touchline. He done him right at the touchline. He put him down.
I know. Right, okay. I saw that happening, but I didn't see who it was. It hit Maeda.
I can't remember who it was, but it was right at my side, and I thought,
right,
that's a real bad tackle. No VAR or nothing. To me, it never heard looking at it. Surely that should have been looked at. That was a terrible tackle.
I think I heard
he got him just below the knee.
Even one VAR call.
No, he got him just below the knee. It was a shocker. Mm-hmm. But I mean, that doesn't take away from the fact that we were really poor. The second half we got better. When we got it back to 2-each, I was obviously delighted. And I thought we were going to go in. If Luke McCowan shot, if he hits a target and that ball goes in the net, we're winning the game 3-2.
Plunge's answered you there. It was Tom Lawrence.
It was a Lawrence, aye.
Yeah.
It was a shocker plunge, you know what I mean? A terrible tackle. It was right in front of us, and it was I'm not joking. He got him just below it was a real bad tackle. I mean, when does Maeda lie down and not get up? Took him a wee while to shake that off.
Yeah, it took him a wee while to get up. And then I seen it at the end of the game. Maeda, he was limping.
Aye. He hurt him. I'm not joking. I don't know what
condition he's going to be in now.
And I've not heard anybody saying anything about it. It's a terrible tackle.
Yeah.
And it was just, but anyway, as I say, at the end of the day, at the end of the season, we're going to pick up a treble. We'll know that this game will be forgotten about. We're all angry and we're all upset because we should. If we turn up, we beat them. We don't turn up.
Francis, this is the thing. Adi was asking me earlier in the comments, what was my point? My overall point was the weather. Even Ryan and Alan, if they're tuning in just now, I know they'll probably say every game matters. It does matter, right? It does. But psychologically, when Celtic have, this is just my take on this right now. Call me crazy, call me nuts, call me whatever you like. I don't care, right? Those of you that know me will know what I was meaning. I'll know what I'm meaning. My take on it is Celtic have lost 2 derbies this season, and the 2 derbies they've lost, they have been in the league by a comfortable margin. Now, they've been so far in front that's been the reality of where they are. I think they was it 16 points the last time as well, and it got back to 13, or was it 17, it got back to 14, or
something like that.
So,
at Hams, listen, I'll take you back to the last season we played at Hampden. Remember we went to Hampden and Celtic Park was getting done up?
Yeah.
Right, I still had my season ticket for Hampden, right?
I was only a boy at that time.
Well, I was there, and Rangers were winning a treble that season. We were doing nothing. And the last Old Firm game at Hampden, everybody was expecting them to absolutely trounce us, and we beat them 3-0 that day.
Yeah,
3-0 we beat them, and I was like, I mean, it's the exact same thing. They had it all won. They knew they were going for a treble. they knew they were going to win it, or we had won hee-haw, and we gubbed them 3-0. That can happen in Old Firm games. It doesn't matter what decade, what year. You know what I mean? It does happen. You know what I mean?
Francis, I had this conversation with a guy this morning, and I says it doesn't matter if we're top the league or they're 10th. We aren't going to win every single derby.
No.
It's not going to happen. It
As
doesn't
much as
happen
we
in
want
any
it to,
rivalry
but
across. It doesn't happen across. Look at Everton.
Aye.
Everton get results against Liverpool when they're not expected to.
Liverpool, everybody's expecting Liverpool to go and trounce at Newcastle yesterday.
That's what I'm saying, but I'm not even meaning that, right? So people are. I've seen people say it's failure. It's this. It's that.
I know.
Well, you can't be real and saying it's failure. We've only lost a couple of derbies, but in return we're going to win a treble.
I've heard a load of rubbish for yesterday, and I watched a couple of other things, and people are talking absolute rubbish. You know, that's it. Alistair Johnson should be sold and all this and all that.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? He said one bad game, maybe two bad games. You know what I mean? Sell him. That doesn't make him a bad player, because everybody round about him was just as bad. CCV was bad. We're going to sell him. We would just sell everybody that never played well yesterday. And then what will they want? You know what I mean? If people have got to be realistic. I mean, we know there's going to be big changes this summer. I feel it coming. I think there'll be a lot of players are going to move on. Actually, I think that we will be a different team next season again.
Could be, but
you know, but that doesn't take away from it. We should have. If we turn up, in my opinion, we win. We just didn't turn up again, and that's the only thing that bugs me. The fact that we haven't turned up in his last two Old Firm games. It took us to the 45 minutes to even. To get any sort of way. I mean, the game at Ibrox, we never got into it at all. It was even worse. You know what I mean? But I heard people saying that was worse yesterday. No, how could it be worse? You know what I mean? At the end of the day, he hits a worldie at the end of the last couple of minutes and they score a goal out of nothing. Do you know what I mean? If McCowan scores, it's a different story. We're not having
the thing is as well, and Atati curls one in the post as well, and after he scores as well, and you know,
I'd say there was a lot of poor players that played poorly yesterday.
Yeah,
doesn't make them a poor player.
100%. It doesn't make them a bad guy or a bad player. Or,
no,
you know, I'm pretty sure people will be lauding these guys when they win. If they manage to lift this level.
We get Hampden at the end of the season lifting that Scottish Cup. Who's all going to turn around and go, but we get beat with Rangers at the Parkhead?
Yeah, listen. That's the thing. See if you're sitting there. And you get to the end of the season and Celtic won the treble, you're never going to sit and go through that and go, do you know what? Celtic lost against that team or they get beat with it. I don't know anybody that does that. I really don't. I don't know anybody that goes through that. So,
and I'm as annoyed as anybody about yesterday. I was angry and annoyed at the performance, but it doesn't change the way I feel about Celtic.
No,
you know
100%.
I mean? When you start lambasting everybody and slagging them off and saying they're shite and get rid of them and sell this guy and sell that guy. Brendan Rodgers is a crap manager. I've never heard so much rubbish in all my life. You know what I mean?
100%. And see all this narrative as well about Rodgers has been schooled with this guy and Rodgers get done with this guy. And
the players were all there before Barry Ferguson arrived. So it's nothing to do with Barry Ferguson.
If people think all of a sudden, no, this guy's the messiah for them, then fair enough.
They turn up in the big games, that's all they do. They turn up in the big games and they fall asleep in the wee games. That's how they're in the position they're in. How many times have we seen them play? They beat us 3-0 at New Year. What's happened since then? How many times have we been beat? Motherwell, St Mirren, Queen's Park out of the cup. You know what I mean? You've got to be realistic. We've lost, 2-3 games this season? 2 against them, which is annoying. But
and obviously, Hibs beat us.
Yeah, Hibs, But you know what I mean? And again, that was because we never turned up in the first 45 minutes in the Hibs game. And that's the only thing.
That's a great point there for Jem. Nobody cares about previous games when trophies are being held high.
Absolutely not.
Francis, one more point, and obviously I'm going to, because I'm late in getting the callers in tonight, before I move you on, mate. One more point. Now it's an international break, mate. Are you quite happy it's an international break to get guys like McGregor and...
I'm packing this weekend because I'm going to Gran Canaria on Tuesday for 2 weeks.
Tremendous.
Get in there. Get a wee bit of sun, a wee bit of heat.
Tremendous, mate. It's been long overdue, I would say.
Well, there'll get plenty of time to maybe having a week or two to stew on that result will maybe waking a few people up, you know what I mean? But as I say, you're probably fine. As I say, the next couple of games, we win the next couple of games. It's going to be all over anyway after the split. I know we can't win it. It's Johnson now, but we win it after the split. We're not going to put it this way. We're not going to lose the league. You know what I mean? People are going, oh, they're beating us, and if we lose it, give me peace.
No,
none of the other teams are going to come anywhere near us. You know what I mean?
100%, mate. 100%. Well, listen, thank you very much for coming on tonight, Bays, and having a chat.
Pal. Cheers, pal. Obviously, I'll not see you in the next couple of weeks because I'll be lying in the beach.
That's fine,
in my
mate.
green mankini.
Just send us the photos, mate. We'll get it up on the channel for you, not a bother.
No, I wouldn't do that to you.
You take it easy, Francis.
Cheers, mate.
Right, mate.
Well, pal. See
Cheers,
you
pal. Here, well. Bye-bye,
Bye-bye.
mate. Bye-bye. Thank you to Francis and our first caller of the evening. Now it's time for our second caller of the evening. As indeed, as you know him, John M., but as know him as Dad. Good evening. How are we?
Evening. How are you?
I'm all right. I'm fine. I'm still the same way I was when you seen me yesterday. So, aye. Obviously,
I've been reading a lot of comments and listening to
we're on the night.
And
yeah, listen, I totally get it. I get people's frustrations. I get I've said it millions of times in this episode. I get why folk are disappointed. I'm disappointed in the performance myself. So,
well, the performance.
But I also understand the bigger picture. And you know me more than anybody, Dad. I put context on everything, the way I look at life.
Of course, but I mean, I'm like everybody else. I was disappointed in that first half performance. I thought we were woeful, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
We came out that tunnel and just never got going at all. And they had our number. They obviously done their homework, and they just pressed us high and made us hurry quite a lot of the play.
Yeah.
And we were getting away so many stupid balls, and it cost us big time in the end because we lost 2 goals through it. And 2 silly goals, two goals that could have been avoided. And before they scored the second goal, as you know yourself, the one Casper gives away and Czerny's got an open goal. Casper's miles out.
Thank goodness for Narotsky.
All he has to do is pass the ball into the goal. He takes it to the byline, tries to cut it back, and Celtic got away with that one.
Thank goodness for Narotsky.
Aye, but listen, that boy had a great game.
Yeah, he was excellent. Yeah, he was.
That boy had a great game. Even knowing that he's not played much of a season at all. Do you know what I mean? And Carter Vickers, for me, I'm with Francis. He's no captain material, to be honest. He cannot. I don't know. I don't know what instructions he was giving his back four or his back line, but that wasn't working. It just wasn't working.
Yeah. But
to get back into the game in the second half, I mean, we came back out and started the way we should have started the game for the start. Got an early goal, and then we got a second goal. We got an early goal for some good play. I mean, the play was fantastic.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That changes when Yang. What a ball! I mean, what a ball! What a ball that is for Jota. Yeah. But that changes when Yang comes on the pitch, because when Yang comes on the pitch, I think was it Adi in the comments, he said it earlier, Yang's one-touch passing and moving changes the game, and it changes the look. He was absolute quality.
He changed the whole game when he came on.
Yeah.
Which I thought, where was that earlier? Do you know what I mean? And he's ball through Hatate for the goal. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the wee man stuck it away brilliantly. And for then on in, I thought, here we go, Celtic's just going to go and win this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And obviously that wasn't the case. Apart from ages, for me, a woeful miss right at the end. Do you know what I mean? When it comes off his shin and goes away out of the bar.
Yeah, when the ball gets squared back. Yeah.
Aye. No, well, the one that was put through at him and he, all he's got to do is hit the ball before it hits the deck.
Yeah.
Hits the deck, hits his shin and goes out of the bar. That could have been 3 each. You know what I mean? But it wasn't to be. It was just one of the days.
Yeah.
It just wasn't to be, and you know, it's not the end of the world. I mean, it's a
No.
bad result. Don't get me wrong, and I'm as unhappy as everybody else. But it's not the end of the world. As you've said yourself, and a few other people I've spoke to, there's still a treble there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be bigger picture stuff for me. It's, you've got to look at, but people, you know, you know, I was talking to a guy today and he went, but that doesn't matter. Hold on a minute. What? That doesn't matter. A treble doesn't matter. Are you off your nut?
I mean, today a treble's no main feat, you know what I mean, for any team. Do you know what I mean?
I've said to you a million times, to win trophies and win silverware and do it the way Celtic have done it over the last decade, it's the hardest thing in the world ever to achieve.
Of course
To
it
win.
is. Of course it is. And I know 16 points, so we're still 13 points clear. We've still got a game to play them again at in their midden. So hopefully we can be up for that one and beat them in that one. But you know, between what was it, 8 games to go, and
Yeah, there's 8 games left in the league, yeah.
We're in the semi-final. We've already won a cup. We're in the semi-final of another cup, and you know, got a chance to go to another final, and 13 points clear in the league. So it's Celtic can only throw it away, and I don't see that happening. I just don't see that happening.
No, I don't see that.
There's just too massive. If Celtic turn up, and I've said to you, I don't know how many times I've said to you on any occasion, if Celtic turn up, even this Celtic side, if they turn up, there's nobody in Scotland will touch them. And I'm including that ball across the water.
Yeah, but they do. I mean, for me, Celtic turn up more than they don't. I mean, they turn up. They turn up when it matters. They turn up when trophies and medals and everything are, you know, handed out. Yes, they've lost a derby. Yes, it's disappointing. They've lost 2 derbies now. Yes, they were disappointing. Yes, they weren't good on the eye. Fans were looking forward to them. But I've said it a million times. You cannot dominate a rivalry all one-sided. You're going to get games that you're going to lose in.
It happens. I mean, you're going to have half days. I mean, all right, they beat us yesterday. But they could beat the Queen's Park. It must be one of the worst results in their history. Could beat the Queen's Park in their own park. Do you know what I mean? Then they could beat the Motherwell. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Addy, I get your point there. You're saying we've not turned up in the last 3 games. Do you mean against them? Because one of the games that you're alluding to, mate, we won a cup.
Aye.
So we won a cup, and I'm not buying into this. We didn't play well. Well, we played well enough to win the cup because we walked away with the trophy. So if that's what you're meaning, you know, we played well enough to take the game to where it had to go. This is a team, guys, whether we like it or no, and whether people want to sit and admit this or no. This isn't just a daft team. It's no Ross County or St Johnstone. This is a team who, a few years ago, were in the UEFA Cup, the Europa League final. They're now in the quarterfinals of the Europa League again. So that, as much as we slag them off and we want to say this, we want to say that, in reality, this isn't just some wee daft team that we're just entitled to push aside and because we're better than them. We are better than them, yes. And that is shown with how much we win. So, but I'm not buying that narrative, Addy, that because we won the game on penalties, you've still got to win the game, mate. Did Celtic walk away with a trophy? That's what you've got to ask yourself.
Enough said.
And enough said. Exactly. Enough said, because Celtic walk away with a trophy. I don't know what else, nobody remembers Celtic's performance. So, but that wasn't the manager. You know, people, you're saying there it's a manager who's managed Alloa and Clyde. That's just, for me, that's, you're losing the bigger picture.
He's got
You're
better players
losing the bigger picture
than he had with Clyde and Alloa, and he's got better players there than now. And you know, a couple of people behind the scenes.
It's all right us having a go. It's all right us having a go and slagging these guys off. These guys, they're
professional football players.
Of course they are. They're not as bad as they're not as bad as people think they are. So he's also the best manager as well, Addy. So try and look at the bigger picture, mate. No, you're getting too engrossed in Celtic losing a game. Look at the bigger picture. Look what Celtic have gave you as a Celtic fan, and ask yourself: are you happy, or are you just all about bragging rights? Is that what you prefer? Do you just want to have bragging rights over the end goal and the remit, which is to win silverware, which Celtic do religiously every season? John, obviously, Callum McGregor was a big miss for the team yesterday. Do you think it showed?
Oh, big time. Big time. I said that to you when I found out Callum wasn't playing, that would be a big miss. And I was proved to be right, because there was no, you know what I mean, no leadership for me on that park yesterday.
Yeah, I said that to Francis before you come on.
Big CCV's just no got that kind of same leadership as McGregor's got. You know what I mean? And in the huddle, you know what I mean? I don't think he said much in the huddle either. I think it was Casper Schmeichel.
It was Casper Schmeichel that was speaking to them,
yeah. So for me, that shouldn't be happening. You know what I mean? The captain's the main man on the park. And McGregor's got that leadership. We've seen it through the years with him. And it's just the aura he's got on that park, that they all look to him. And he did. Yeah. You've seen him in umpteen games, pointing here, talking to them, doing this, doing that, and then everything all clicks into place. That just wasn't there yesterday. You know what I mean?
He was also making really silly passes yesterday as well.
Who?
CCV was making silly passes yesterday that won the on.
I mean, that third goal, I mean, he's got to header that. Whether he gets a shout for AJ or no, he's got to header that away.
Yeah.
Because the ball drops there, he ducks. If you watch it again back, you'll see he actually
ducks. He ducks under the ball, yeah.
And AJ slips.
Yeah, he falls.
That Rangers player, I can never pronounce that guy's name. So
Igamani.
Right. And then he gets a deflection after AJ again. But the deflection does him a world of good, because he just curls it right in the top corner.
Yeah, it was don't get me wrong, it was a great finish.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not taking nothing away for the strike.
It was a good strike. Player,
but I'm not taking nothing away for that strike. He struck it well, and it was perfect right in the top corner. No goalkeeper was saving that. Do you know what I mean? But it should never have happened. I mean, but there's all ifs and buts, and this and that shouldn't have happened, and that shouldn't have. It did, and we got beat in the end. And you know, well, if AJ scores that one right to the death, then we do get the draw. You know what I mean? But it wasn't to be. It was just one of the days.
Yeah, you know, yeah. Obviously, I've got another caller coming in, so obviously I'm going to need to move on. Obviously, it's an international break. I've asked Francis, what's your take on that? Do you think that's an ideal time in order to let Callum get better? Obviously, Paolo Bernardo's been out, James Forrest, Liam Scales has obviously got a fractured cheekbone. Austin Trusty was missing a game yesterday. I've now understood it wasn't his missus having a baby. It was the fact that he hurted his calf. What's your take on the international break? Are you in favour of an international break, or do you think it just keeps more, field time and leg time for the players that are all give away?
I think it's, you know what I mean, gets away for the domestic season for a couple of weeks, you know what I mean? Yeah. Sometimes I don't like it, you know what I mean, because I like my domestic football watching my other team. You know who my other team is.
Yeah.
And they're doing well in the English Premiership. And, you know, but sometimes it can be a distraction for a lot of people. You know what I mean? But it doesn't bother me personally. No. It is what it is, and it's always going to be like that. So there's not a lot anybody can do about it. You know what I mean? But sometimes it's a distraction for a lot of teams. They don't want it. You know what I mean? They want to keep going because they've got a momentum going or whatever. But no, not for me. No, it's a welcome break for me, I think.
Nice one. Well, thank you very much for calling in tonight.
No worries.
Giving us your thoughts, and I'll catch you later.
See you after. Hail, hail.
Take care. Hail, hail. Bye-bye. Cheers to John. And our second guest of the night. But yeah, Addy, listen, I totally get your points, mate. I understand how you're feeling. I understand your disappointment. Like I've said millions of times here tonight, we're all disappointed at the performance level yesterday. But you're talking about 3 games. You've mentioned 3 games a couple of times now about, you know, Celtic have done this. Look at the last decade, mate, of what they've had to watch. Many trophies have Celtic won in that time. So you've got to look at a bigger picture. You know, 3 games from a decade, mate. I know who's more disappointed. It's certainly not Celtic fans. But it's time now for our third and final caller of the evening. It is a debut for this man on this channel. It is indeed the one and only, as me and Ryan like to call him, or they call him. However, you all know him in the comments as Scott Melville. Good evening, Scott. How are you, mate?
I'm all right, mate. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm all right. I'm good. Just enjoying the chat, enjoying the comments, enjoying all your guys' company. So, yeah. How's your weekend, mate?
Yeah, well, yeah, great up till yesterday. But listen, we move on, don't we?
Yeah, 100%, mate. Yeah,
You know
that's
what I mean?
what we need to do. We need to do that quickly.
We've been there ourselves in the 90s, haven't we? We won the odd game every now and again while they were cleaning up all the trophies. So it's probably you could say this is our turn now, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%, mate. And that's what I keep saying. You know, guys like Addy, I understand that. Listen, I get the disappointment. I can get it. He's been very vocal in the chat tonight, which is fine. We take all opinions, and you know, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Scott, I'm always looking at the bigger picture. I think I've messaged you a couple of times now off of here, and
you put my mind in it.
I always, you know, I always look at things with context, mate. You've got to look at, especially football, because my mantra is when Celtic are doing well, when they win games, when they beat teams 5-0, 6-0, whatever it may be. I don't get too carried away. When Celtic won the trebles and they won doubles and they won trope, I don't get too carried away. And see when Celtic don't win because of what you just said earlier about the 90s and what I grew up watching, it helps me not to get too bogged down when we don't win, because I remember when Celtic were not a winning machine. And as I say, it's luxury now for Celtic fans to be going through what we're going through just now.
Yeah, well, look at it this way. We're a few weeks away. What is it? 6 4-league wins, 2 in the cup, from winning, 6 trebles in 9 years. Up till Martin and Neil came in, we'd only ever won 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's right, mate. Yeah.
So we can't. It's one of we start to realise the success we've got, and some days we have bad days. Like yesterday, were a bad day. My big gripe yesterday was the bench. The bench, we had like 4 or 5 kids on the bench. We had nobody who could come on and make a difference for us. Well, obviously, apart from Yang and Ida, but the 4 or 5 young lads, it just shows the squad depth ain't there for us yet, is it?
Yeah. I think when you look at that as well, Scott, you mentioned the bench, which is a great point, mate, because when I looked at it myself, I was a wee bit alarmed before the game. I was kind of like, oh dear, that's a bit shabby. That's a bit thin, bare thin there.
Mm.
But when you look at me and my dad were chatting about that. You look at who's out. You know, you've got James Forrest was out. Liam Scales isn't available. Paolo Bernardo's not available. Callum McGregor wasn't there. You look at who else am I missing? Austin Trusty wasn't there. So there's 5 guys there, mate, that potentially have all got the ability to either start a game for you or come off the bench. Those options weren't there yesterday.
Well, it was their bench their bench won them the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Their bench won them. They were out on the feet in that last 25 minutes, going down every chance they could to waste time. And honestly, thought when we got it back to 2-2, I thought there's only one winner here. And obviously that long ball, and we messed up, didn't we? Which was happening all game, really, to be honest, in defence. Gee, really. Yeah,
it was a poor day at the office for the best part of our back line and, the goalkeeper. In my opinion, I've said it earlier, I thought Casper was playing balls yesterday that I've never seen him do before. Like, I don't know what was going on. I don't know if we were spooked potentially with their higher press. Yeah. And then I'm looking at that, I'm going, if their pressing us that high, there's got to be a hole somewhere else. There's got to be a gap somewhere else.
Yeah.
Celtic were just unable to find that. My biggest joy was watching Yang coming on. He changed the game for Celtic. Yeah. We were able to play through Rangers after that. Because by that time, Jota had put a bit into the game in terms of running, not getting much joy, but he'd put a lot of running effort into the game, off the ball, trying to make things happen for Celtic. Probably a lot more than Kuhn, but again, I thought Jota was very under par. Very under par.
Yeah. He was still our only spark, though, wasn't he? In the first half, he was probably our only spark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He was the only one that was trying to do anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Kuhn kept giving it. Well, when he did have the ball, he gave it away.
Yeah, and he was giving it back. He was giving it back. I mean, just again, he was allowing them to get back in and set and then repress it again from there. But no, listen, they set up a game plan the first half. The game plan worked for them. They came but it's like I keep saying, Scott, we've lost games to St Mirren, Hibs, Aberdeen, Hearts in the past. We've lost games to these teams. But it's the same result in the end. Celtic always win more than they don't, mate. Because it's, and again, it's 2 games we've lost this season. What's your thoughts on that, Scott? Because we've lost 2 of the derbies this season. We have been miles in front in terms of the league. We're still 13 points ahead of them. They don't have anything. They're not going to get any silverware this season. They don't have anything to play for. So in a way, they've
got the Europa League.
Well, they've got that. Yeah, they've got that. But in terms of domestically, they don't have much to shout about, mate.
No.
And so
it could be just like them to go and lose at Dundee. They did it after last derby, didn't they? Did they not lose at St Mirren? Did they not drop points at Motherwell?
I think they drew 3 each with Hibs, didn't they, when they beat us?
Yeah, they drew at Motherwell. I think they lost at St Mirren. So you never know. Like, but they've lost the last 4 home games.
Yeah.
So
I can understand Celtic's fans' disappointment because, as a Celtic fan, we're all disappointed when Celtic don't play well.
Yeah.
But for me, there's too many people now getting bogged down with, Barry Ferguson out-thought the manager and he done this and he done that and Brendan's this and Brendan didn't do that and Brendan's now failed to do this and he's not doing... I don't buy into any of those narratives, Scott. I don't know about yourself, mate.
Well, I'm not having it that he was schooled by him. It's just he's probably seen the tactics that Clement played in them last 2 games, isn't it? Straight from kickoff, they just launched the ball to our right back area. Oh, sorry, our left back area, their right wing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But that was only remember what Neil Lennon did years ago.
Yeah, that's right.
They just, that game, I think it was the 2-0 game at Ibrox when Johnny, when Johnny scored, Johnny
Hayes and
Johnny
I think
Hayes, yeah, that game.
Was it Edward?
Yeah, that's it. And basically, Lenny launched the ball right into, I think it was the same position what they did, and just we pinned them back that day, and that's what they did. They pinned us in. So
Yeah.
I'm like that, mate. I'm thinking, why are we not like firing it over the midfield and just going a little bit more direct against them and giving them something to think about? Because we've got loads of pace up front, but I know that's not Brendan's style, innit? But
yeah. In the first half, there was a couple of moments. I think it was one with Dyson. I think it turned out he was offside, but there was one after that with Hatate, and he pulled a great save.
yeah, good save.
Where I thought, right, here we go, we're going to. But then our play the tempo of our play just drops completely in the first half. What was your overall take, Scott? Because I've heard mixed reviews about yesterday from the fans. You know, fans are saying we deserve to lose a game. Other fans are saying that a draw might have been a fair result. What was your take on it?
I don't like saying this. I don't think a draw would have been a fair result yesterday, to be honest. I thought the first half, gee whiz, I thought in a way, really, we were lucky we only went in 2-0 down. And I thought then when he would get them back in at half time, he'd sort some out. And I thought that was the perfect substitution. Get Kuhn off, get Eder on, and put Maeda back out wide. And then the game turned on its head. But I can't remember them having many chances in that second half. When we got it back to 2-2, there was only one winner. Then we had that chance where Hatate smashed it round the post.
Yeah.
And then it was just like a long ball out of nowhere again, and just a catalogue of mistakes in defence. And then after they scored that, it was a good finish by him, but we still should have stopped it. But after that, you didn't think we'd score in that last, the 5 minutes injury time. But then again, like John said before, that chance that AJ had, and I know people say, oh, he's a defender, but he's a professional footballer. But that summed his day up, innit? Summed our day up, innit?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was a bad day at the office for quite a bit of the team. But we didn't have, as you say as well, the other options to help coming off the bench, guys like Bernardo and even Callum McGregor being there and Austin Trusty being there. For me, every one of the guys I lined off to you, the 5 guys, they can all make some sort of a difference to your actual day squad.
Yeah,
and
100%.
Yesterday, he was only able to bring Ida and Yang off.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on Yang, Scott? Obviously, while I've got you, I know you're new to the Thailand and that. What's your thoughts on Yang overall? Because there's quite a few Celtic fans now asking for Yang to come into the Celtic team now due to Nicholas Kuhn, or they feel Nicholas Kuhn being off form.
Yeah, well, in the last 8 or 9 games, there's got to be a player there. He must, like Brendan, must see something in training, and by the looks of it, he's getting involved. Like, he had a few runs. He was, I don't know, there's something there. I think there's something there with him. And to be honest, the way Kuhn's playing, I'd lay him out the team for a bit and give Yang his chance. But there's obviously, in Brendan's eyes, there's a player there, and we have seen that maybe there is something to work with. I didn't, honestly, if someone had said to me, I won't be saying this. Probably in January, I thought he'd been gone. But I don't know. There's something there with him. He surprised me, especially in that game at St Mirren. But I think there's something there.
I've been really happy with Yang now for a number of weeks now. And I'm the same as you, mate. I feel as if he deserves his opportunity. Where he's going to get that opportunity now.
Do you think Kuhn's for the off?
I wouldn't necessarily say he's off, but he's definitely dropped a wee bit of form. Now, whether that's, he's played a lot of football as well. Let's not get away from that. He's played in a lot of big games for Celtic this season.
Yeah.
And he's played a lot of football, as have a lot of the boys. I mean, and Kuhn's not one of the boys that go and play internationally, but he's played a lot of games for Celtic this season.
Oh, no, I like it. Don't get me wrong, I like it.
He's gave us an excellent return as well, but I do think some players at various times of a season, Scott, for me, I don't know how you feel, I think they just need taking out a wee minute because, to give other boys an opportunity to let you refresh those batteries and go again.
Like he did with Engels earlier on in the season.
Yeah.
That's what he did with him, didn't it?
Yeah, he did that earlier in the season as well. He's done it with Kyogo as well, by the way. He
Yeah.
brought Ida in for a few games earlier in the season as well, and so Brendan's he's no a stranger to taking someone out of the team, and we've all watched Jan and the energy that he's given us over
Yeah.
a number of weeks now.
Yep.
People are saying, "Oh, he doesn't do it often enough," but he's done it over a period of time now. It's no,
Yeah.
and he's doing it in smaller windows, whereas these guys that are getting games are doing it over 60 minutes. Kuhn's now, for me, he's been under par for longer than just a few minutes here and a few minutes there. So,
Absolutely.
just lastly, obviously, before letting you go, mate,
Go on.
the international break, mate, are you for it or against it?
Oh no, I like watching the Scotland games, and I'll be cheering the Scots on, but it's not the same, is it? After with the result yesterday, you want a game, don't you? I'd have been happy if we had a game on Wednesday night, but as I say, we take our medicine and we come back swinging against Hearts and just get the job done, because that's what Celtic do. We get the job done.
Yeah, that's it. That's what we've got to do. We've just got to dust ourselves down again and go again. But as you said, that mob across the water, man, it wouldn't be like him just to go to Dundee or play Dundee,
Mate, I could see them get past Athletic Bilbao and lose the next 3 league games. They're just erratic, but fair play to them. They deserved the result yesterday. But it's up to us now to find the way in it, find the way to get winning in the derby again. We've done it before and we'll do it again.
Yeah, no, 100%, mate. Listen, Scott, thank you very much, mate, for being one of the newbies from the kind of chat to take the time with us tonight. And again,
love the pod, mate. Love the pod.
And showing the guys, obviously, how, what it's to come on and have a chat with us. All you need to do is contact us.
Yeah, brilliant.
Cheers, mate.
Take care. Hail. Okay, hail.
Cheers, Scott. Thank you, mate. Bye-bye.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
Thank you to Scott Melville for a third and final caller of this evening. I know some of yous have been firing comments in. I do apologise if I've not put loads of them up. I've been trying to pay attention to Scott there because he's a first-time caller as well. So you've kind of got to pay more attention. Like say Francis and my dad, John M, Big Bev, our sponsor, other guys that have been on. They've been on, millions of times now. So you can look at comments and still kind of half listen to them. Whereas when the newbies, you like to, no worries, mate. No problem at all. Yeah, and it's nice to see a new face on the dial. Yeah. Toby, it's not the first time, mate. I'm sure it'll not be the last. The lads are sunning their backsides off over in Tenerife just now. So that's why I'm on myself. That's why I'm here. I'll be on Wednesday night as well, folks, with Big Barry McCandless. Big Barry's going to join me on Wednesday for another chat about Celtic. Probably Barry will give his thoughts on losing the derby and where we are. I seen a comment. I got it saved for while the dial-in was happening there. Ryan M messaged the in the comments. Ryan says it's a mental thing. I truly believe that. It's hard to motivate players to continue good form throughout a whole season in such a poor league. Yes, we should be beating the Rangers side. Keep the heat. I love that. I absolutely love that comment. Yeah, I totally love that honesty. And Toby, not a problem, mate. I'll get you on next Monday, mate. If you want to come on, I'll message you and you can let me know I'll give you the times and you can let me know when you're coming on. No bother, mate. For anybody wondering, Toby's one of the DJs from East End Community Radio that the podcast is also been part of as well, and we've been on their show as well. So, aye, Toby's a man. Time man, he paid the favour, yeah. You spoke to Baz Bannon since yesterday, JP. Think how we felt after the Glasgow derby. Sheffield Wednesday lost the derby as well. I have spoke to Baz, mate, yeah. Listen, it's Baz a top professional, mate. He's no more than anybody than him. Knows how football works as well. And like I says, Sheffield United have spent a lot of money in their squad. Certainly a lot more money than Sheffield Wednesday have been able to spend. Sheffield Wednesday are doing very well in that league this season, but they were unlucky yesterday. The game could have swung the other way as well. So I've managed to see some of that game back, some of the highlights. And yeah, he's fit as a fiddle, mate. He looks after himself really well. And yeah, Baz was on me. He was on with me on Friday as well, mate. So Barry Bannon was actually on the channel with me on Friday night. And yeah, it was a good chat. Obviously looking at the Glasgow derby more than the Sheffield United derby. But aye, Baz is a top man. I'm pretty sure, just like Celtic, Baz will lick his wins, and so were the lads, and they'll go on, mate, as well, because there's more football to be played. And yeah, could be a big season still for Sheffield Wednesday, Addy, definitely. And aye. Monty, good evening, mate. Hope you're well. The treatment of the Green Brigade is out of order. I don't really, to be honest with you, I don't really have a lot of information regarding the incident. I've seen some of it on social media, and yeah, one thing is for sure, mate, it's very strange behaviour from the whole get-go. I did wonder during the game why they weren't present. It wasn't until after the game you find out, they were stopped yesterday from getting to the game. But as I say, I know reading earlier that the club are now looking into the matter. I did hear of the Celtic fan liaison officer going along and trying to get as much information about the situation. But as I say, Monty, I can't really comment too much about it, mate, because I don't really know much about what went on. Sean Boy, he says that was a bunch of entitled millionaires strolling around the park, looking forward to the international break. Well, I do enjoy the international break myself, yes, because I'm a Scotland fan as well as I'm a Celtic fan, and I always like to see Scotland doing well also. And a couple of big games for Scotland coming up now. Thursday night we play Greece, the first leg of our playoffs, so hopefully we can get through that and get a bit of progression for the squad, the team. And yeah, so it was yeah, I always look forward to the international breaks. I like Scotland, as I said, so it's good to get them back. It's good to see, obviously, different players have been picked. Look forward to seeing the boy George Hurst, see what he brings to the attacking line. Lennon Miller's obviously there. I don't know if Lennon will get much game time, but Just need to wait and see. Minder, pal. Our boys look like they're on the beach already. They are. Brian and Alan. They're over in Tenerife, mate. That's where you'll find them. They're actually probably lying sozzled. It's Paddy's Day today are there, so they're probably lying on a sun lounger on the beach, you know. Oh, but you mean Celtic? Sorry. Sorry, I thought you were talking about the boys again there, sorry. I thought you were meaning the boys there, the boys in the channel. Monty, as I said, mate, I can't really comment too much about it, mate. I don't really know enough information about it, mate, so it would be unfair. I wouldn't like to try and give an opinion on anything like that because I don't know enough about it. I just I know what I've seen on social media and it seems a very strange situation, but I do know the club are looking into it now, so we'll need to wait and see what comes of that over the next coming days and hey, here he is. I'm sober, lads. Curry in the room. What room is it, though, wee man? Is it Billy Porter's room or is it your own room? Do tell. Do tell the boys. Do tell. Celts 88. If I did work for them, I wouldn't be on this channel, that's for sure. Unrestricted view? Oh, you're not allowed that, surely, man. That would be against the company protocol, that, would it not? But no, I just don't give opinions to things. I'm not really too informed about, mate. I just silliness. No, I like to be educated on stuff before I give an opinion on whatever it is I'm going to chat about. And aye, as I say, it's. But if I did work with him, mate, then no, I wouldn't. I certainly wouldn't be able to do this channel. That's for sure. Francis, thank you very much, mate. Your kind comments here about being a great pod, and aye, Ryan's got a curry for two. Don't let him kid you. It's not even that. He's getting back in about 10 minutes. If I go to give him prawn crackers, shocking, man. Aye, he was out today. They were out today. Don't let him kid you. He's probably dying. He's probably put enough away for 2 days. That's how he's in the room with a curry. 10 to 10 on a Monday night, man. You're in the room with a curry. You kidding on? My God. Just can't get a staff these days, folks. You can't get a staff. Ronnie, you're very welcome. You are very welcome. Well, I had to, mate. With Durrett Island on Monday night, mate, there's been 3 callers in with me tonight. Francis, John, and our good man, Scott. Have all joined me this evening. And it looks like we're getting a new face next week as well, because Toby from East End Community Radio is going to, he's gave his word tonight in the comments, so he's going to be one of our callers. So, yeah. No garlic butter for a naan bread. Oh, is it one of the curries? Is it right, okay. So it's not a Chinese curry. Is it an Indian curry you've got then? What kind of curry is it? Come on, let us know. I'm starving, man. Let us know. What kind of curry is it? You're making me hungry. What kind of Ruby Murray have you got, Ryan? I'm not going to laugh until you tell me. Lindsay, you're very welcome. Thanks very much for taking the time to listen to me. Yeah. Thank you. Hail. Take care. All good points from the callers tonight, Ryan. Yeah, spot on, mate. I want to thank everybody that's joined in with me. Currently 115 people across the platforms tuning in with me. So thank you very much for that. I'll butter check me, man. Get in there. Lovely. Tremendous. Sounds lovely. Probably cost him about €40. Knowing Ryan, because he's probably went to 5-star Michelin restaurant for it. But it sounds lovely, me man. I hope you enjoy it. Hope you enjoy the rest of your night, folks. As I said, I'll be back Wednesday, 8 o'clock. Me and Big Barry McCandless. And there he is. The wee man's been listening. Brilliant. Great pod again, big man. Hail, hail. You're very welcome, mate. You're very welcome. Thank you for tuning in. And the comments just keep getting better. I mean, look at us. JP, you're better than the telly. Tremendous, man. Thank you very much, James. You're so nice, pal. You really are. I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying the love. About 25 minutes ago, I wasn't a love person. I was getting hated with Big Addy. He didn't like me coming back at him tonight, but we've all got opinions. And that's the thing. We've all got opinions. I appreciate Big Addy's opinions as well. If he's still watching us, I really do. And yeah, Celtic disappointing, but please remember, disappointment is only temporary. We move on to the next episode, folks. Hail, take care, and I hope you all enjoy the rest of your evening, whatever you're up to. But for the time being, have fun. Bye-bye.